weighing 245 pounds, C.J.
9 years ago, Chinlock Wrestling stepped into the ring for the first time, almost by accident, as a charity event. From that inaugural bell to today, they have never strayed from their mission. Every event is a tag team of wrestling entertainment and community support, proving that giving back is always the true main event.
Yeah, I mean, as an editor of the local newspaper at the time, I'm pretty blessed. I've had a pretty blessed life. I made a lot of connections. It was a great job. It's been a great job, a great place to work, and I felt like those connections should go to some good. What could I use these connections for? Like, I have all these. I know how to get a hold of executive directors of charities, celebrities, athletes. I know I have access to these people. Let's see if we can do that. And I have always believed, like WWE used to do in the 80s when they'd bring in Cyndi Lauper, Mr. T, Donald Trump. I was like, you know, that's pro wrestling. So we'd bring in Spenny. We'd bring in Much Music VJ Bill Wolichka. We'd bring in famous wrestlers from time gone by. And again, you don't get discounts always from people like that. Some people donate their time. But the idea is we find sponsors to be able to help offset the cost of putting on these shows. Like today's show, for example, will cost about $5,000.
In 2019, at the 6,000-seat Slush Puppy Place Arena, Chinlock Wrestling proved that when you combine the love of a sport with the drive to give back, the impact can fill even the largest arenas.
The turning point for us came in 2019, which would have been our fifth anniversary, so to speak. Our fifth show was what it really came down to in 2019. We started getting meetings, again, through connections. We had a meeting with Canadian Tire. They came aboard with a $25,000 sponsorship. We met with the Kinsman Club of Kingston, who helped us out with $70,000. And we put together a show that cost about $100,000 to do. And I think when it was all over, it grossed over $200,000 in contributions and charitable donations.
Behind every event is an incredible roster, not just of wrestlers, volunteers, and fans, but of sponsors who step into the spotlight to make a difference. These are some of the ultimate tag team partners of Chinlock Wrestling.
Other than the fact that it's a childhood passion of mine, I fell in love with wrestling from 4 years old. Jan, it comes back to Jan Murphy. He's been Chinlock's CEO since day one. He's always been a big community supporter and leader through his employment, through his charity work. And so I met Jan. We hit it off famously, and it was just essentially a match made in wrestling heaven. It's good to take off the lawyer hat, come down, sponsor wrestling. I'm part of the show, I do the commentary, and it humanizes you as a business person, and in my case a lawyer, and it takes a lot of that anxiety out.
For fans, Chinlock Wrestling is more than a show. It's an experience. Children cheer for their heroes. Longtime fans relive the glory days, and families come together to enjoy the drama and athleticism of professional wrestling. The energy is electric, the crowd alive with chants and cheers, as each match unfolds like a storybook in the ring.
The heart comes back into what Chinlock's providing, and I think you see it in every show. It's at the root of it, as a father, I've got a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old at home. My daughters love Chinlock Wrestling. We could put on shows that adults only would love, but I want to put on a wrestling show that feels like the wrestling shows I used to go to when I was a kid. Yes, it's people hitting each other and it's violent, but it's still fun. And that's absolutely what we're trying to do every time we go out there, especially when we're trying to give back to the community.
For the wrestlers, stepping into the Chinlock ring isn't just about the moves or the cheers. It's about the bigger picture. Every choke slam, every power bomb, every dive off the top rope is part of something greater.
I think what it is about Chinlock is the heart. I think there's a lot of heart in Chinlock. I think it started as a locker room full of guys who all wanted to just put on the best show possible, and it's still that. It's grown, but it's still hugs and handshakes all the way around up until bell time. So I think that's absolutely where the heart of Chinlock is that. It's a community, it's a family.
My father and I bonded over wrestling at a really, really young age. I can remember sitting watching wrestling as young as 3 years old. I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. I loved The Ultimate Warrior. So that's how I got involved in wrestling. I grew up absolutely loving it. I was told by everybody that I wouldn't be able to do it. I was too skinny. I was too uncoordinated. I had lots of different things that people would tell me all the time, and it was very hard to push through those doubts, but I did, and I accomplished my dream. So go get it.
We all come here because we love it, and we all come here because it leaves us feeling good. And this is done today, and next week when we finish paying all the bills and look at what's left, and we come in here and we meet with Harold and some of the folks here, and we turn a check over. That's what it's all about.
For WPBS Weekly, I'm Gail Paquette.